finish out the week one more time on the gridiron at Grady Field. Two Cortland Dragons are still in the news and being recognized for their efforts on the field this season. First, senior defensive end Nick Lardaro named AP All-American earlier this week. Lardaro making 42 tackles on the year, with 11.5 being for loss. The senior added 4.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and 5 pass deflections in 2024. He was named a second-team All-American earlier this season by the American Football Coaches Association. As well, on the other side of the ball, senior quarterback Zac Boyes was named one of 5 finalists for the Gagliardi Trophy. That given out to the best player in all of Division III football. Boyes is the reigning Division III Region II Offensive Player of the Year and winner once again of the Empire 8 Offensive Player of the Year for the conference. The senior is one of 4 quarterbacks selected as a finalist, along with a linebacker that rounds out the field. Boyes finished 2024 with 35 total touchdowns, over 3,400 all-purpose yards, and just 3 interceptions on the season.